We're talking about the Nobel Prize in this month's Science article. Wouldn't you like to win a Nobel Prize, Joe?
I would. I think some of the more technical Nobel Prizes, sort of science and physics and all of that, that's a little too hard.
Yeah.
But maybe like literature.
Yeah.
Or it'd be
Peace
nice,
Prize?
the Peace
Yeah.
Prize, which I think is arguably the most famous of the prizes. We often hear those recipients more.
Yeah, well, in this particular article, we are talking about scientists and the research that they have done with regards to cancer, which we talk a lot about that, and I think this is amazing what has happened. They're talking about the immune system and its fight against cancer, and we all want to see cancer conquered for sure. But I want to touch on this idea of research in general. Now, Joe, you've done a lot of research during your graduate school program, right?
Absolutely.
And so what is something that you learned during that process? A lot of us are accustomed to research, but you have gone through this not that long ago, maybe some watching, it's been a while. What is something that you've learned from researching?
I think one of the biggest things is that the process is very windy. And so what I mean by that is you start with one idea and then you go for years. So when I first got into grad school, and grad school for me took about 4 years to do the master's program. I was doing it in Chinese, so that was a whole other level of complication. But I started out with one idea, and as I went through the process of writing and researching, that idea started to morph and change. And eventually, the end product was very different from my initial idea of what I wanted to do. As you go through the process, you sort of feel yourself challenged and you start to change what exactly you're researching.
And I'm sure that can be frustrating at times, but the end product is still good because you were willing to make those necessary changes.
Right, you have to be kind of flexible during the process.
All right, so we can learn a lot, of course, from research, no matter what field we are in. Well, Joe, back to this article that we are discussing. What is exciting about the particular research that we see in our article?
There's actually so much exciting, and I know it's really technical, and on first glance, it's really hard to understand. But the idea of being able to manipulate our immune system, to manipulate the proteins around a T cell in order to have it fight cancer better, just that concept alone is really fascinating. And if you look at the article deeper, you notice that you have some scientists learning on how to apply the brake on those proteins harder on the T cells, and others are trying to learn how to release that brake. And so you see how people research things from very different angles. And I think that in and of itself is very fascinating because the body, you know, you have a body and I have a body, we all have bodies, but it's actually really complicated. And there's still many things about ourselves that we actually don't understand, which I find to be fascinating. I often don't think about it. But when I read an article like that, I go, whoa.
Right. Sometimes you think, wow, it's 2019. But we're still researching things, right?
We're still finding out things about ourselves.
Which just shows how complex we are, and we were created in such a complex manner.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for joining us for this segment of Insights. Join us again next time.